As the Trump administration continues to receive criticism over its handling of relief efforts in Puerto Rico, Donald Trump is doubling down. In fact, he has doubled down in the form of tweets last night and early this morning. He says, quote, "The Democrats today killed a bill that would have provided great relief to farmers and yet more money to Puerto Rico, despite the fact that Puerto Rico has already been scheduled to receive more hurricane relief funding than any place in history." I don't know why place is in quotation marks. It's very strange. He continues to say the people of Puerto Rico are great, but the politicians are incompetent or corrupt. The
hilarious projection there.
I know.
Incompetent. Should have added and corrupt if he's talking about himself.
Puerto Rico got far more money than Texas and Florida combined. By the way, there are many lies in these tweets and we're going to debunk them in just a minute. Yet their government can't do anything right. The place is a mess, nothing works. FEMA and the military worked emergency miracles, but politicians like the crazed and incompetent mayor of San Juan have done such a poor job of bringing the island back to health. $91 billion to Puerto Rico, and now the Dems want to give them more, taking dollars away from our farmers, and so many others disgraceful. So,
okay. Also crazed and incompetent. I mean, projection 101. As he's writing crazed tweets filled with incompetence because none of the facts are right.
Now, in the first tweet, he alluded to something that was blocked by Democrats in the Senate. So he is right about that, but he is not right in the framing of the issue. So it was a disaster aid bill. And the disaster aid bill specifically carved out some money for farmers who are suffering. He's right about that. However, Democrats want to add almost $700 million more to unlock further disaster aid for Puerto Rico and several states, including help to rebuild badly damaged water systems. Democrats are also trying to force the administration to release billions of dollars in rebuilding funds that have already been approved. So remember, Puerto Rico was supposed to receive resources and funding in disaster relief that Congress passed. So Congress voted and they passed a certain amount of money that was supposed to go to Puerto Rico. The only issue is that they haven't received the money. It's being blocked from getting to Puerto Rico. So Democrats want to address that, and they want to also ensure that Puerto Rico is getting the resources it needs in the disaster relief efforts. And this legislation did not do that, which is why they voted against it.
But I want to be clear about one thing. The Democrats are not saying that the farmers should get less. They're just saying that on top of what the farmers are getting and what Puerto Rico is getting, they should add 700 million more to Puerto Rico. Now, you might think that sounds like a lot of money, but in the context of all this aid, it is actually not that much. And a lot of these proposals are very similar to one another. So for example, the House already passed a measure in January for $14.2 billion in aid, not 91 billion, 14.2, and that was not just for Puerto Rico. That combined aid to southern farmers, California communities devastated by the wildfires, hurricane hit states like Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, all that combined was 14.2. The Senate did 13.5, and what the Democrats are saying is, just make it the same as the House. Add the other 700 million, make it 14.2. Again, it's nowhere near 91 billion that Trump keeps putting out there, and it's not just for Puerto Rico. So the Democrats are not looking to take anything away from farmers. That is also a lie by Donald Trump.
And one other thing I want to note is that Donald Trump still, till this day, keeps treating Puerto Rico as if it's a different country. Puerto Rico is part of America. Puerto Ricans are American citizens, but he continuously proves that he sees them as the others, as if it's one of the 3 Mexican countries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I think I'm pretty sure I saw on Fox News that they actually are one of the, maybe they're the 4th Mexican country.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm not gonna let this go because there's 2 other things that I want to talk about. One, I want to touch back on the projection that he did in all these tweets because I find it so funny. He says the politicians are grossly incompetent, spend the money foolishly. I mean, are you getting this? Or corruptly, and only take from USA.
He wants how much money for the border wall, which would do nothing to stop the flow of immigration, would do nothing to stop drug smuggling. I mean, there was a government shutdown, the longest in US history, 35 days, over $5 billion for the border wall.
But the second part of that is the point that animate. Take from USA. They're part of USA.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine tweeting out like, Ohio keeps taking from USA? What? Right? So he never thought that they were Americans. He doesn't consider them as part of us. From day one, when he started talking about the hurricane, not after all the political fighting, on day one, he started talking about how they don't know how to take care of themselves. And it kept implying that they're lazy.
Let's talk about who can't take care of himself. So if your father didn't give you $413 million in your inheritance, okay, would you be able to take care of yourself? Like, what would Trump do? Like, let's imagine a world where it was Fred Trump, right? His father's name?
Yes.
Fred Trump passes away, and in his will it says no money should go to Donald Trump. None, 0%.
I actually think there's an excellent chance he would have been homeless. No, I'm not kidding.
No, I know you're not kidding, and I agree with you. I mean,
look, he had $413 million and he bankrupted 6 businesses anyway. So imagine if he had no money like the rest of us growing up.
Gone.
No, I mean, where would he borrow his next $100 million? That's not a thing that the rest of us have a luxury of doing. No, there's no way, and he couldn't work for anyone else. No one would have hired. I'm the best. I should fire you, even though you're my boss. I should fire you because I'm more beautiful and stronger than you. You're fired. Get out. Okay. What's my golden parachute? How much do I get for bankrupting this company? What do you mean? You get nothing, you idiot. Right? So he'd be a total disaster. But he of course thinks the opposite. So I wanted to read you these 2 quotes about Puerto Rico alone. Okay. So I'm going to go to graphic 16 in a second. But before that, a couple of days ago, he had said, I have taken better care of Puerto Rico than any man ever. I'm not kidding. That's a direct quote. I have taken better care of Puerto Rico than any man ever.
I would like to play the video as B-roll as Cenk reads Trump's quotes.
Okay, then I'm gonna go to the next graphic, like I said. He tweeted this out on the same string of tweets that we've been talking about. He said, the best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico is President Donald J. Trump. The best thing that ever happened to Puerto Rico is President Donald J. Trump. He said about himself. No, look, guys, if you had someone like this in your life, you'd look into psychiatric help. You'd be like, oh no, he's coming over for Thanksgiving. Jesus Christ, that crazy uncle who keeps saying he's the best at everything and how he knows this better than anything else and how we couldn't survive without him. That guy's a lunatic. Mom, Dad, come on, please don't let him come over. And then he'll take these towels and throw it around.
But they were big, beautiful towels. They were so soft.
They had these beautiful soft towels, very good towels.
No, he said it about that, they're in plastic. They're normal paper towels. That's a direct quote from Trump. They're beautiful, soft towels that I went like this with. Because you know why? No man has ever done anything as good for Puerto Rico as me. The guy, I mean, it's psychosis in front of everyone. There'll be a deposition one day, just like Alex Jones that we showed you yesterday, where Donald Trump will be sitting in front of a camera with a white wall behind him going, when I did all of that, I was in the middle of a psychosis.
Now, Mr. Trump, is it true that you threw paper towels at the people of Puerto Rico? No, I didn't. Let me show you a video.
That's what happened with Alex Jones. Look, guys, this is the most embarrassing thing about a country that I love. That about 40% of the country is following an obvious psychotic. Obvious. Again, if a guy comes up to you at a bar and says, I'm the best thing that ever happened, name the place, to the city of Tallahassee. I'm the best thing that ever happened to it. I'm the greatest. You'd be like, yeah, oh sure, of course you are, of course. Security, okay.
No, but it is interesting how, forget about regular people, right? Like let's talk about political candidates, politicians in general. I don't think there's any other politician, either in the Republican Party or Democratic Party, who could talk about themselves that way and not be ridiculed for it.
Are you kidding me? If Elizabeth Warren said that she was the best thing that ever happened to name the place, that she's the best thing that ever happened in Massachusetts, people would be like, on what grounds would you say that? That's an outrageous thing to say. No, she's immediately disqualified. Imagine if Biden said, I'm the best thing that ever happened to America. I'm the best vice president we've ever had. People would be like, that's crazy talk. So you can go on and on listing vice presidents, etc. It'd be a scandal. He might be disqualified. Donald Trump said that he had better polling than Abraham Lincoln. There's no polling when Abraham Lincoln was president. I mean, he says the most outlandish, literally psychotic things. And people are, oh no, the emperor's got clothes on. No, he doesn't. He has no clothes and he has no mind. 2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.